Joining me live here in the studio to talk about our midterm elections, we have election lawyer attorney Emil Marañon, CNN Philippines resident sociologist Nicole Curato, and Professor Herman Kraft, a political analyst with the University of the Philippines. So I want to bring you into this conversation of what's happening now with the vote counting machines. We're seeing prominent people not being able to vote, at least three, no? Judge Marbinay, who said the one before him was also not able to vote, and then Vico Soto said hindi pa siya makaboto ngayon. Also, Senator Grace Poe. But then, during the testing, nangyayari naman din talaga ito. What do you think?
Well, I think the major or the broader issue here is a question of electoral integrity. Siyempre, tatanungin natin, yung tatlo bang binanggit mong tao, exception ba sila or common experience siya? So yun yung dapat natin
So these are the
monitor.
things that COMELEC must answer maybe later on in their press conference.
Because the worry is if we keep on hearing news like this, baka ma-turn off yung mga tao, isipin na wag na lang tayo bumoto kasi sira naman yung machine, or yung iba sasabihin nila na, wala naman palang kwenta yung election ngayon. So there's doubt in the electoral process. So so far as COMELEC responded to Vice President Binay's concerns, I guess that's a positive development. But sana mas marinig natin yung kwento ng ibang mga botante. Kung ano ba yung experience nila at paano na-address yung experience ng common na voter, ng hindi lang VIPs.
So that's a good point, no? You gotta hear from common voters what happens to them when that incident happens when they vote.
Yeah, but in my case naman, sa technical side of it, I was expecting sana that COMELEC is more prepared because marami nang nag-fail na SD cards during the FTS or the final testing and sealing. So more or less, dapat anticipated na to. While it is true na mayroong contingency procedure in place, but I think the fact na ganito kadami yung sira sa makina is something na dapat napreparahan ng COMELEC way ahead.
And what do you think, Professor Herman?
This is what we were talking about earlier on, that the main problem is that the case of Vice President Binay might be an isolated one, no? Kung isolated siya, then okay, walang problema. Ang ano ngayon na pumapasok ngayon itong mga reports na dumadami yung mga makina na may diferensya, no? I agree with Nicole, magiging problema ngayon dyan. Ano ngayon na magiging pananaw ng mga tao? No, pagka ganun, yung paulit-ulit na lang yung ganung klase naririnig nila.
So nakikita natin it's our second automated elections. Ang sabi ng mga otoridad, sabi ng NCRPO kanina, sa Metro Manila pa lang, ang daming kaso ng mga vote buying, and of course, all over the country, mas aggressive daw ang mga vote buyers ngayon dahil mas mahirap daw mangdaya sa automated elections. So parang there are other things that they're trying to do. And now, with some of the polling, some of the vote counting machines not working, what do you think will be the effect on voters? I mean, some of them will they wait for the voting machines to get counted? And were there enough information given to them na pag nangyari ito, ganito ang dapat gawin?
Well, actually, sa rules ng COMELEC, very clear naman siya. The moment na masira yung makina, it doesn't mean na titigil yung botohan. In fact, what the Electoral Board should do is to inform the voter. You have two options. Either you vote now, pero ibibigay mo sa amin yung balota mo, and therefore you waive your right to personally feed the ballot sa VCM, and also that your right to see the voter's receipt. The other option is to tell the voter na bumalik ka na lang pag naayos na.
Is that okay? There's a certain insecurity, at least we saw that with candidate Vico Soto, who said, I don't want to give my, although it's legal, and he knows it's legal na iwanan yung balota mo doon, he has his reservations.
Yeah, but actually may safeguards din yung COMELEC rules. Ang sabi doon, unang-una dapat hindi tinitingnan ng Electoral Board yung balota. And then second is, while waiting for the VCM to be fixed, dapat ipapasok mo muna yun sa envelope, yung balota, wag titingnan. And then you wait until the time na maayos at saka i-feed din.
So kailangan, paano yun? Kailangan may mga watchers na rin to watch
lahat
the
naman
election.
kasi ng candidate entitled to have watchers. And I'm pretty sure that Vico has watchers as well sa loob ng presinto.
According to him nga, meron daw siyang mga nakukuhang report on the field na there are 35 in Pasig, no, out of the over 400, or 479 to be exact, na mga voting precincts. Okay, what other advice can you give to the voters? It's only before lunch, no? There's still, mas mahaba ngayon, 1 hour longer ngayon ang botohan, ano, Nicole?
So I think first and foremost, don't give up on voting just yet. So pag may naririnig tayong ganitong balita, sana yung reaction is, ay, wag na lang ako boboto, nakaka-discourage. Actually, it's an invitation to be more vigilant, na tumulong magbantay ng boto, tumulong mag-report. Ang dami namang avenues, right? So you can use social media. It's very helpful because we also, here at CNN Philippines, we're monitoring what people are saying online. We have an entire research team dedicated just to monitor what people are saying online. And if COMELEC is responsive, then they will pick up on that. And another thing that voters can do is to watch until after the polls close. Kasi doon din nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nila na magic, di ba? And lalo na ngayon na may mga questions na bakit hindi nagmo-monitor ang NAMFREL, bakit mas limited yung engagement. So all of this, I think, comes with the theme of how much integrity does this election have? Isa kasing common theme din in this past electoral race is the question about the PCOS machine. It's about the automation. There's a senatorial candidate running just on this question, di ba? So, ang taas ng stakes. Kailangan talagang patunayan na, okay, wala namang eleksyon na perpekto, pero pag nagkakaroon ng problema, kayang sagutin ng COMELEC.
So kahit na kanina nire-report ng authorities ng PNP at ng COMELEC na there are 60% lower daw ang incidents ngayon ng election-related incidents, no, or violence. So 60% lower than the same period in 2016. But that's not enough. No, it's not enough. The elections would have to be credible, no? And so far that's the hanging question, and that we have to be vigilant. But being a lawyer, ito kailangan nating malaman ito because some of them have not yet gone out and vote. So pag nangyari sa kanila ito dahil hindi ganun kalaki yung information campaign ng COMELEC, kung sakaling mangyari ito sa inyo. So pakisabi sa ating mga voters, ano yung mga options nila? Is it okay for them to leave their ballots there? Why is that perfectly okay? Why is that legal?
Well, nakalagay naman sa batas na they have two options and there are safeguards in place naman. Either if you choose na mag-aantay ka or boboto ka at yung teacher na yung magpapakain sa makina. Siguro, our elections kasi run on trust eh. Una, tiwala mo sa makina, tiwala mo sa COMELEC, at tiwala mo dun sa electoral board. So precisely yung sinasabi natin, despite the fact of a lot of negative news ang lumalabas sa ngayon, but very important na magtiwala pa rin tayo sa institutions. And especially with our teachers, hardworking teachers to, at saka yung COMELEC, buong COMELEC institution, have been working on this in the past 3 years. So as much as maraming duda, but let's keep the faith and put our trust. Although hindi ko naman sinasabi na blind trust to, but we must as well be very vigilant sa lahat ng mga balitang naririnig natin.
Actually, I just want to add on that. Maraming sociological studies that actually say mataas ang trust ng mga Pilipino sa eleksyon, na despite the fact na ang daming balita ng vote buying, vote rigging, electoral harassment, nagiging ritual siya. So, mahalaga para sa mga Pilipino ang eleksyon as a democratic exercise. And we can see that with voter turnout. Last elections, we had an 82% voter turnout. So the stakes are pretty high. And last 2013 midterm elections, 77%. That's also a high turnout. So I guess this is an indication na kahit may mga ganitong problema, the trust in the electoral process remains.
And we're just getting this news now. Vice President Jejomar Binay was able to vote already. After his ballot was rejected by the machine, he went all the way to COMELEC and PICC, and he spoke with COMELEC officials. There was a brief press conference when they said that they'll try to do something about it. A new machine was already there, and then they just have to evaluate his ballot and refeed it. So apparently they were able to refeed his ballot. At nakaboto na po si Vice President Jejomar Binay.
Ako doon, may personal reservation na ako with what happened, no? Because supposedly they're not supposed to give a special treatment to even although he's the former vice president, but at the end of the day kasi there are rules regarding the voting. Eh. In fact, there is a very specific grievance procedure the moment na rejected yung ballot mo. In other words, the teacher is mandated to put it inside an envelope and at saka i-label mo yun as rejected. In other words, hindi na bibilangin yun. But medyo surprising na ang ginawa ng COMELEC is to allow actually the Vice President to na kunin dun sa rejected envelope, which is for me a breach of procedure on the part of COMELEC.
And Professor Herman, before we pause for a short break, we'd like to get your thoughts or your message at this point.
Kasi ang isang bagay dito is yung mensahe na parang itong election ay nangyayari na hiwalay doon sa botante. Parang kung sinasabi natin na pagkatiwalaan natin institusyon, actually, dapat we have to own the institutions. Yung ano nga, nung ano, is if you want, kung gusto natin na maging maayos ang kalalabasan nitong eleksyon na to, ay nasa sa atin din talaga yung responsibilidad na yon di ba? Kaya hindi mo pwede sabihin na, pagka nangyari ito, ayoko nang bumoto. No? At nasa sa atin pa rin yung kasiguraduhan kung ano mangyayari dito sa eleksyon na ito.
And the three of you will still join us, this special coverage of CNN Philippines in a while. Thank you to our guest today. We'll still keep talking to you later.